From Oike Television Studios in Lihue, Hawaii, it's Kauai Theater This Month with your host, Larry Richardson. Tonight's guests, Dolly Kanekuni and Morgan Liddell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Larry.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Kauai Theater This Month, the show where we talk about what's happening in the performing arts community here on Kauai. I'm your host, Larry Richardson, and wow, what a strange trip it's been since our last show. You know, we finished our last episode of Kauai Theater This Month and submitted it to the television station for air, and then, wouldn't you know, all this pandemic stuff hit and put everything in a holding pattern. So in the meantime, left us thinking, what do we do next? What's going to happen next? Well, as you know, in theater we have a saying, and that is the show must go on, and the show does go on. So I'm happy to report to you that our theater community here on Kauai has kind of rallied, and the show's going to go on. So we're going to tell you how that's going to happen. So that brings us to our first guest. She's Kauai's premier vocal coach. She's a singer, a performer, and she's also the president of Hawaii Children's Theater. Please welcome the lovely and talented Miss Dolly Kanekuni. Social distance, yay! Please have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Dolly, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. This is fun.
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm really
I love
excited.
what you're doing with Kauai Theater.
Yeah, I do
It's
too.
very cool. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. So
Nice.
first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been living on Kauai 25 years, teaching voice here. President of Hawaii Children's Theater the last 5 years. I love working with kids. I love improving singing. So I love theater. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay.
So that's my focus.
Awesome. And you're also the president of Hawaii Children's Theater.
Yes, last 5 years. We have a great board of directors putting together lots of programs. The group has grown quite a bit. Our organization has grown in the last few years.
Yeah.
Just trying to serve more people in more remote places in the island, you know, stretching theater out to reach a lot more kids because it's so great as a child to have those skills that theater gives you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, as we said, we've got this whole pandemic thing that's creating a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
But I know that Hawaii Children's Theater has done some great innovative things to make sure that the show goes on. So tell us, what are you guys doing? How
well,
does the
every
show go
summer
on?
we do this Summer Stars Theater Camp. It's a 6-week program. It's held at the Puhi Warehouse in person. It's not going to happen this year, so a lot of kids were let down by that. And we really still have the same great staff and the same great education theater offers to bring to the kids. So we're using all the tech that's available to us to bring it to them online. Our morning program is a series of classes where the kids learn singing, dance, acting, and some really fun stuff like stage combat, makeup, costume design, and they're going to learn that all online.
Awesome.
Our afternoon program, the kids are actually going to do a virtual play. It's a 40-minute play, and the play is called The Show Must Go Online. And it's a play about a group of kids who are in the middle of rehearsing their show, and then pandemonium hits, and they have to find a way to use tech and all the hilarity that comes with that.
Yeah, the real life struggles of that. Well, that's
Yeah,
cool. And then there's classes that they're taking online as well.
Yeah, our teens, we have a teen program. We have really great guest. Well, he grew up here on Kauai, Chris Alderette. He's our doing teen acting classes. And those are free. We offer those through a grant that we received that specifically targets youth, teenagers. And then our Julie Blakowiak is doing a dramatic writing class online, also
That's awesome.
a free class. And it's great because these people know people in the industry, you know, in New York and in LA, and they're bringing them on to meet these kids and do Q&A and offer advice.
Cool. So you guys have sort of had to scramble and find a new thing.
The show must go on.
Yeah, the show must go on. So the board is meeting virtually, I guess?
The board is meeting virtually on Zoom, it's going well.
I'm guessing that this was kind of maybe one of the ways, like by doing that, they kind of figured out, hey, we could do this with a group of kids or whatever too, yeah?
Yeah, and you know, some of us have always, like our stage combat teacher, Alice April, has been doing Zumba classes online for a long time. I myself have been doing private voice lessons on Zoom. I started doing private voice lessons on speakerphone before we even had computers.
Yeah.
So it can be done virtually. It opens it up to a whole bunch more kids that don't even live here.
Yeah.
You know, I have students who moved off island and now they're still able to connect with the education.
That's a good point. Well, my next question is, what are some of the challenges, aside from the obvious fact that you can't meet in person?
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges, and how are you guys, aside from what we've already talked about, of course?
I think the main challenge is keeping it fun and exciting in this impersonal, computerized format, you know?
Yeah.
Kids have been doing it with school. Some of the kids are just burnt out on it.
Yeah.
And I've heard some kids say that, you know, they've tried their piano and their singing and dance online, and they weren't happy with it. And that doesn't work for me. It can be fun. It can be educational. It can be done.
Yeah.
And our staff has done webinars with teachers in New York who are doing it.
Oh, yeah.
We're paying for this training.
Oh, cool.
We've also taken classes to see how it is on the other side.
Yeah.
So our staff is amazing. Our committee chair, Melissa McFerrin, our admin, Erin Gaines, our afternoon director, Marley Madiag. We're learning so much, and we really want to deliver a quality program that'll be fun for the kids.
Yeah, that's amazing. I did not know that you guys were actually getting training.
We are paying for training.
Yeah.
Yes, from people who have done it successfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's really impressive, and I've heard a lot of people talking about how it's amazing how HCT was able to think on its feet and just keep it going and adjust with all this. So, okay, well, now you and I have discussed this privately, but I know that you wanted to talk about this is the gotcha question. I knew that you wanted to talk about, and something that means a lot to me as well is, you know, we always talk about theater and it's all about the show and that, but really the purpose of Hawaii Children's Theater is because of what the kids get out of it. So tell us about that, about why theater is so important for young people.
Oh gosh, my own kids were raised through theater. Keeps them off the streets. It teaches them so much how to use your voice, even if you never go into theater. You know, we have theater alumni who are doctors, who are just able to look someone in the eye and speak.
Yeah.
And got those skills from being in theater.
Yeah.
There are some people who actually believe a theater degree is more valuable than a business degree. There are CEOs of huge companies who have theater degrees.
Wow.
And account their success to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, what I've noticed is there's you got the teamwork thing, and everybody's dependent on each other, and you can't make excuses because opening night is opening night. You know.
That's a deadline.
Yeah.
You don't change opening night. And the diversity that it teaches you, you know.
Yeah.
And the lessons in the material.
Yeah.
You know, in the plays. Every play we do has a moral.
Yeah.
Or something the kids are learning, and they're learning it through this medium.
Yeah.
You know, not from a textbook.
Exactly. It's almost like being in the play is the classroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, my kids were homeschooled, so theater was their school.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Okay, well, let's see. What should people do who want to find out more about Hawaii Children's Theater and their summer programs, including Summer Stars and upcoming
Well, if they
shows?
can go to our website, it's all there. Our administrative manager, Erin Gaines, does a great job of keeping that updated. Teachers, pictures, bios, class descriptions, hawaiichildrenstheater.org.
Okay, and we'll put that on the screen so that our
Thank you, Larry.
No problem. And so before
we have a few slots remaining, so there's still time to sign up.
I always like to say, did I not ask you anything that you...
Well, I'm in case people aren't sure how the shows will be performed. You know, live audiences are not allowed to congregate. Things may change by the end of July, August, but we're prepared if they don't. We're taking advantage of every technology available to us to do the virtual choirs that you've seen people do, which are really cool. We've actually hired a professional videographer to put all that together. And we're also planning to do the play as a live streamed performance, where the kids will be live in their homes doing their scenes, their dialogue, their songs, and it'll go from one to the next, all handled by the stage manager, director.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And people will watch at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool, outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing it, how it goes, and
Thank you.
Thanks for keeping the show going. And
Show must go online.
yes. Well, I'm excited about that. Well, let's see. Now, before we bring out our next guest, I'd like to tell you about something new here on our show. You all probably know Jessika Montoya, and if you don't know her personally, you've probably seen her on stage. Jessika is going to be our first Kauai Theater This Month correspondent. She's going to be sharing various aspects of Kauai theater in a segment called Break a Leg. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here's Jessika Montoya and Break a Leg.
Hey everyone, my name is Jessika and this is Break a Leg. I'm here at the Puhi Theatrical Warehouse, better known as Kappa, and this is an awesome place where Kauai community players and Hawaii Children's Theater put on productions throughout the whole year. In Hawaii Children's Theater's upcoming season, they're going to be putting on a few awesome productions, and I think we actually have a couple of the directors inside, so if you want to come follow me, we can check it out.
Oh, I'm not supposed to answer the door?
No, you're beautiful and I love you.
We were talking.
I was listening to Larry.
It's Rebecca Hansen and Chris Alderette. Hello, guys. Now, do you guys mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Of course we do.
Oh, well, bye. No, okay. Let me ask you some questions. I am here with two locally renowned directors that are both directed for KCP and HCT, Rebecca Hansen and Chris Alderette. Rebecca, why don't you tell us a little bit about your directing experience?
It's been fabulous. I got started with Hawaii Children's Theater, directing Summer Stars, moved on to Kauai Community Players, and just it's been an overall wonderful experience. Very supportive community.
And you, Chris?
Started acting in shows here, and then and I don't even remember what year it was, but started with Next to Normal, and then did title of show for KCP, and then Lucky Stiff for HCT, and you've been in all of them.
What is something you look for when you are auditioning an individual?
Preparation.
Confidence. We're in live theater, right? You're gonna make mistakes, things are gonna happen, and how do you recover from that? And in auditions, we have auditioners that are nervous, visibly so, and I mean, I still get nervous when I audition. So you're gonna make a mistake. How do you recover from that mistake? And that's what I look for on top of the preparation. And because preparation will show just how dedicated you are to wanting to be in the show.
For me, it's the difference between talent and preparation. Preparation comes first. Somebody can come in who I know is extremely talented, but doesn't have a great audition because they're not prepared. Someone that comes in that I've never seen before, and they're ready, they're raring to go, and they nail their audition. It doesn't matter what I've seen from the person before, it's what I see right there. So if you come prepared to an audition, that's what I look for.
How off-book or ready would you like to see the person auditioning?
For their audition piece, I would prefer them to know what they're singing, because when we do put out for auditions, we put it out a long time in advance. We'd like to see this type of song. You could bring something from the show, but there's always the option to bring something you're more comfortable with. I really appreciate when someone comes in with, again, preparation. Their sheet music's ready. They know the song that they're gonna do. Now, if I throw a song at them during the audition saying, hey, I just want to hear this on you, I don't expect them to be off book. But for the piece that you bring in, you should know it.
Now, if someone has any conflicts with the rehearsal schedule or the show dates, should they tell you that in advance?
Yes. Please let us know in advance.
Oh my goodness, yes. Especially because so many people think, oh, I have a conflict. If I don't tell them, they don't know about it, maybe they'll cast me in a role, and then we can figure it out afterwards. But actually, it's more likely that we'll cast you if we know your conflicts. If we like you for a role and we know your conflicts, we will make those work.
Yes.
Unless you know for a fact you're not going to be there for performances. And also, if you're not going to be there for some performances, that lets us know, okay, we need to look for an understudy as well. So in that case, that gives 2 people a shot at a lead role. So always let us know.
There's things that I want to say to bounce off of that. In reality, if you know that any time we put a show together, it takes time and dedication. We're talking 3 to 4 nights a week for rehearsal at 2 to 3 hours each, plus a 3-weekend run of a show. If you cannot commit to at least, 60% of that schedule, then the show just isn't for you no matter how bad you want to be in it. If you want to be in it that badly, then you need to rearrange those dates so that you can be at the rehearsal. But always put your conflicts on, because if you are right for the role, we'll always cast the person right for the role. We will always work with them. So yes, when we say, tell us your conflicts, tell us your conflicts.
Communication. Communicate.
Okay, now for everyone that doesn't know, what are callbacks and how do they work?
Callbacks gives us a second look at an actor. So there are times where if you're not called back, there's still a possibility you're still cast in the show. Especially if it's an ensemble piece, if there's an ensemble, we don't need to call back people who we already know are going to be in our ensemble. And that's from their initial audition and a dance audition. So just because you're called back, don't fret. And a callback means that we're thinking of these people in certain specific principal parts, and we need to see them together with the other characters to look for chemistry and how they play, give off of each other, and
see if they match voices. Everything from how tall is one person compared to the other, how do they look on stage together, It's when we get to callbacks, it's the little things now. The audition's already done. We're looking for little specific things now, and we're going to tell you what we're looking for at these auditions. I need to see you do this, and it also gives us an idea of how you work with a director, because we're going to be giving you direction.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything else you wanted to mention before I head on out?
Auditions are fun. Come out and audition. We want to, going back to what he said, don't be afraid that there's not a part for you. If you want to do it, do it. You're only going to get into a show if you audition. And, 90-something% of auditions are, rejection, but that's theater. And, be ready for anything. But the only way to get in a show is to audition.
My favorite thing about auditions is seeing someone I've never seen before. It makes me so happy when I see people in auditions that I have never seen before. So just know that if you're auditioning for any of my shows and you've never been to an audition, you are going to make me very happy just by showing up.
I second that.
Thank you guys for both taking the time to meet with me today and answer some of those questions. You gave a lot of great information, and hopefully we'll see a lot of brand new faces at our auditions. Now, if you want more audition information, you go to hawaiichildrenstheater.org, and don't forget to break a leg.
We're back. Thank you, Jessica. We loved your segment, and we're looking forward to seeing a lot more in the future. And that brings us to our next guest. He's an actor, a director, and a playwright, and I want to point out a pretty prolific playwright at this point. He's also a board of directors for Kauai Community Players. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Morgan Liddell. Have a seat, you guys. Cool. Awesome.
Hello,
All right.
Larry.
Morgan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So first things first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been on Kauai for 32 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a CPA by trade, and but in my heart, I am an actor and writer, I'd say. Anything to do with theater, but it was my daughter, Erin Gaines, who Dolly mentioned
Works for us, yeah.
is working with Hawaii Children's Theater, who really dragged me into it. It was like a way back when she did Oklahoma with Kauai High School, and I was in the chorus, and when I first got into those lights, it was absolutely devastatingly scary.
Yeah.
But at some point, I kind of warmed up to it.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it now. I've been on stage for about 20 years or so at this point. And plan on continuing to do it.
Cool. So we're talking about Kauai Community Players.
Yes.
And why don't you tell us about what their latest project is as they kind of keep the show going and keep the show must go on. They're keeping the show going. How are they doing that?
The show must go on. We actually had a season all ready to go, which we kind of had to, we only got one show out this year. And so we have postponed the entire season, and we have a very exciting season scheduled for next year. And if anyone who's interested in that, you can go to kauaicommunityplayers.org, and we'll keep you updated on all the current developments and the current schedules and all the exciting things that are going to be happening. This, Hoike and Larry and Max, they're giving us this incredible opportunity of, and it's kind of, it is really taking advantage of the fact that we're not doing any productions now. I'm on the board of Kauai Community Players, you're on the board. We'd be very, very busy right now doing other things, but through the generosity of Hoike and through the genius of Larry, we have the opportunity of doing some television, which is completely new to us Kauai Community Players. Most of us, most of the actors haven't done this. I have started writing a few short plays, and Larry has invited me, and I very much consider that KCP part of this, to come in and produce the play, to direct it, and I have a couple of great actors. I have Dottie Beckart and Frieden Alfonso, Ron Wood, and none of us have ever done film. I mean, this is going to be an amazing adventure that we probably wouldn't have gotten if everything had proceeded normally. So it's fantastic. So we're right now just beginning blocking and rehearsal, and we should have something within 8 to 10 years, I would say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to that. So it's a video, it's a television version of a short play. It's 10 minutes long or so? 10
minutes long.
Okay.
And originally it was called New Normal. And we changed it because of the situation in the world right now. We know what the new normal, the common understanding of new normal is now, right?
Yeah.
So we changed it to A New Day. That's the current title. And it's about, basically it's an autobiographical piece about myself and my wife going through the typical day of her facing the realities of cancer.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing privilege for me to be her primary caregiver during that time. But this play sort of captures the whole spectrum of emotions and feelings that happen in that kind of a relationship. And so I just love being able to share it with people. But I think the one thing that people may not be expecting in this kind of a play, because of, it's dealing with cancer, is the amount of humor that people have, and I think that's largely attributed to the maturity of our relationship. We'd been together for many years. But I'm proud of the fact that we can share that aspect
Yeah, yeah.
of that situation.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's a serious play, but it leaves you feeling good.
Right.
Having seen it, you know.
Right. Well, you can't get much more serious than cancer.
Yeah, that's true.
But the fact is, the predominating thing that I think people come away with is the love, you know, and the caring, and the courage.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that Delia, my wife, had, and people that knew her knew that to be the case. She never complained.
Nope.
Never succumbed. Well, she did succumb.
Yeah.
But she never lost her spirit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think you can really see this
Yeah.
in this short little play.
Uh-huh. Now, this play has been performed on stage. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, Women in Theater, Kauai Shorts, in their latest rendition of that competition, they did produce it, and they did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I thought it was beautifully done, and it happened to actually be the most popular play for that year, which was just wonderful. I felt so honored by that.
Yeah, yeah, and it actually, the people had to vote, and
yeah, the audience voted.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I really felt, I got so much feedback from people. Almost everyone is touched by this experience.
Yeah.
Either whether it be your grandparents or your uncle or your brother, or your mom or dad, everyone seems to have had some relationship with that disease. And so people were very touched by it in many different ways.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that when we produce it, that everyone will have the opportunity of seeing it and will appreciate it for those reasons.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say that I saw the play performed live, and I do remember that somebody, and who shall remain nameless because I don't want to embarrass Jessica, but she was very moved by the play, you know.
Right.
But I was thinking that actually when I watched the play, I was there with you and you. So
we were.
I cry every time I see it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it twice then, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you also did a preview.
Oh, an interesting story is when we did our
At the memorial.
the memorial.
You did it there.
At the theater, at the Puhi Theater
just
for
amazing.
Delia.
Yeah.
So beautiful. That was the original actors that you're going to have in this play.
Yes. We,
it was.
they did a
don't miss
cold
it.
read of the play with Frieden.
And that was a cold read.
It was a cold read with Frieden and Dottie
amazing.
Becker. Oh, great actors.
Yeah. And that's who you have in this one.
And I cast them
Yes.
for that very reason, because
Perfect.
I felt they had a real
Perfect.
great attachment
It
to
was
the
real.
play
Yeah.
and to her.
Yeah, and to her.
You know?
Absolutely. It's one of her best friends.
So it's going to be a trip, because
Yeah.
we're going to be doing close-ups and all these things that we
Yeah.
haven't done before.
Yeah.
And we're going to just, it's going to be just a wonderful opportunity. We're really looking forward to it. And to change the whole, to flip the whole script in terms of acting and what is required is going to be interesting,
Cool.
to say the least.
Yeah. So
Filmed theater.
yeah.
Filmed theater.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a location shoot, though, right? And
We're going to do it in Dottie's kitchen, you know?
Perfect.
So
That's
it's going to be
probably where
very
it takes
authentic
place.
yeah. Yeah.
in that regard.
Yeah.
But so on Wednesday we're meeting. We're having a rehearsal. We're going through some blocking, and we're trying to figure out where are these cameras going to be when we do this. I mean, are we going to shoot toward the window from the kitchen, or do we want to see the kitchen in the background, or where's the?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that.
Right.
We're going to give it our best guess and then bring it to you and see
Okay.
what you think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very exciting. Now,
Yeah, that is.
and we could probably expect this is going to air on Hawaii TV.
Well, I hope so.
Okay. And we could probably expect it in the next month or so, or.
Well, let's see how quickly Frieden can memorize his part.
Yeah. Okay.
No pressure.
Yeah. So, and I presume that will be probably available on the Kauai Community Players website. It'll also air on Hawaii TV, and I'm sure it'll be shared on social media and stuff as
It
well.
should go everywhere.
I
really.
think it very well could be. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I always like to say, what haven't I asked you that you want to talk about?
Oh, well, let's see. I'm just very grateful to be able to go through this incredibly traumatic time on this planet. I just am very grateful of the people of Kauai and living on this amazing place. I don't know how it happened this way. It kind of, but it unfolded that I'm living here. We're all living here.
Yes.
And I just want to say thank you to all of us who have kept this place safe. And I look forward to returning to more normal times.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Well, on that note, thank you very much, Morgan. And let's see. Well, that's all we have for you tonight. And we'd like to thank you for watching. We'd also like to thank our guests, Dolly Kanekuni and Morgan Liddell. And we also want to thank our Kauai Theater This Month correspondent, Jessika Montoya. So
Hey,
with
Jessika.
that, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Good night.